Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, with the host that always talking the most stuff. Welcome to the show. In the 1 minute with Jay Works. Yours truly. Good morning, folks. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning. We have sports topics. The sports come through yet? Yes. We have some great loving news for you today and a real great topic, folks. As I say, I'm the host, Jay Works, and you listen to the show in the 1 minute with Jay Works. Yours truly. We're going to get busy. We want some viewers to come up here and talk that walk and talk that show issue. And our great topic, the topic is so great, folks. The topic is when the times do you love yourself? And when the times do you love yourself? Jerry, can you come get this the music, please, sir? One of my producers. Great. It's there. Give me some volume. This is the show we want to talk about right here. And greet so we didn't get sports. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, only that got you, Jerry. Thank you. Thank you, my great producer. Okay, folks, we're going to get started. Yes, in news of today, deals including 4 days of treaty in Gaza release 4 prisoners from the Palestinian prison. Great, folks. Great, folks. That's a great deal of thing. People getting released from being held captive. You know, and that's pretty good. That's pretty good. In other news, bodies are laying in mass graves in southern Gaza. That's crazy. Bodies are laying in mass graves in southern Gaza. Allegedly. That's crazy. That is just wow. In other news, a large number of Palestinian teens on the list of prisoners who could be released by Israel. Good news. Good news. Good news. And the IDF says it's struck post in Lebanon. I ain't gonna hit that because I don't know if that's good or bad for anybody. You know, always striking somebody is not good in anywhere. And this time, it's a season where people trying to go to war. We don't need war. In a body of a missing, oh my God, a missing woman who's been working, identified as a hostage group says, wow. So a worker who's been missing, she was supposed to be a hostage, but her body's been identified. In other news, China has walked away from opposing sides of saying fine line on the war. Okay. At least they got something to say. You know, China really don't have too much to say at all when it comes to certain stuff. Okay. In sports, Ichiro Isaki threw a shutout against a high school girls team in Japan. I don't know if that's good or bad. You know, with sports is sports. LeBron become the first NBA player to score 39,000 points as a Laker, clinch season tournament knockout spot. That's good. That's good for the Lakers. Yeah. Keep up, King James. Remember, kids, if you're out there, you listen, you can do anything your heart desires. You just got to put the effort and the work in. I mean, this kid is an Akron, Ohio kid who dreamed one day to be the best basketball player in the world, and he's on his way, long on his way there, 20 years in the league. My prayers and blessings go out to you, LeBron. Keep up your endeavor. I know I'm not a fan of any team you have been on because you've been going against my Celtics, but I'm a fan of you and the work and the body you have done. God bless you, LeBron. Keep up the good work. And Brazil and Argentina host the World Cup qualifinals. World Cup. Yes, they host in the quarterfinals. Has been overshadowed by violence. And the world need to see more of that inside the stadium. So that was sports, folks. Kudos to LeBron. You know, it's a good thing, man. Good thing. Good thing, LeBron. Keep it the good work. And worldwide news as well. Thank you. Wow. And the historic World Cup is overshadowed by violence. Wow. That's crazy. Don't need none of that. That's on my brain. Okay, folks. What's getting to the subject at hand? Why or in what times do you love yourself? I'm not responsible for this music behind me. Bobby Brown and RCA Records is responsible for the copyrights of the music. I just love hearing Bobby. In times when I love myself, it's beautiful. It's all the time. I'm not going to hold you. I'm not going to hold you, folks. When you, in any situation, little boy, little girl, you know how to find yourself and learn to know things about you. And you understand body parts when you get in the shower, when you told you stink by family or friends, someone you love. Excuse me, folks. Let's get myself situated here. You will know. You know the body parts. You know the language of you. That's when you come to loving yourself. You know, love yourself in ways that people can't love you. Honestly. You know, people may say they do. People may want to love you. But you got to love yourself first. And at all times, bad times, good times, we're going through a section in life where we have to grow on ourselves, no longer people who's with us. And siblings and people who we want to love us, or mother and fathers who supposed to love us. But nobody supposed to do anything for you, to tell you the truth. But you. God got you. If you want to really hear the truth, sometimes a lot of us get complacent on who's loving us and who's not. Love yourself first. I teach my kids that on an everyday basis. Love yourself. Thou should not disappoint he or she, because they love thee as we, as one. Make a commitment to you, ladies and gentlemen, not to no one else about love. I'm gonna give you a quote in 1 minute. I will always love me. Because when nobody loves he, when nobody knows about he, when nobody want he, is always me loving he, which that's I. It's hard when you don't, and it's easy when you do. Challenge your inner self to always love you. When you walk out that door, when you get up in the morning, you hit that water. I don't mean throw it up and let it catch you. I mean, get in that shower. Put that soap on a rag, let it bubble on it for a minute. Get every body part you could, especially up under that neck, them underarms, your private spots, behind your ears. It get a little rough there. In your private spot, you're supposed to wash them twice with different rags. Your feet with a separate rag. You learning yourself, you loving yourself, you feeling yourself. But if you ain't loving you, ain't none of that count, ladies and gentlemen. Ain't none of that count. None of that body content, that body smell, or nothing. We have a caller calling in. And we're going to see what the caller got to say. Hello. Who is this? We got a caller.
Hello. This is Tiana Rocket. How are you?
Good. Hey, Miss Rocket. How you doing?
I'm doing all right.
On this lovely day before Thanksgiving. You cooking?
Yes, sir, I am.
That's great to hear. Well, listen, we're going to get in it. When is the time when you love yourself in this season of this holidays?
So I'm of the mindset that you should always love yourself. Even as a married woman, when I do self-evaluation to check my gauge, mental health, doing what I need to do to make sure I'm good, and then I'm good for my partner, my spouse, my husband. You know,
wow.
You can't be all that you can be for someone else if you have emptied out all that you have and have nothing left for yourself, especially in this day and age where mental health is at an all-time high. So you have to
I agree.
do self-evaluation. Doesn't mean that you don't love your spouse or your children. You just have to take care of you first. Self-preservation. If you don't, how can you take care of them? Because you're not strong enough. You're weak. You're no good to anyone else if you haven't been able to take care of yourself first.
Wow, that's deep, and I believe in that wholeheartedly. If you don't know yourself, and I'll just say it to my viewers, I get out the bed knowing what I have to do for me, and it starts with that water. I'm not talking about throwing it up. I'm talking about getting in that water, putting that bubbly soap on that rag, and starting from head to toe, because I love myself as he. If I don't take care of he, we will never know who he is.
Correct.
And he inside got to be me as I. And that's what I do, and I start that from loving myself, and then I can really picture conversation or relationship with you, because I love you the way that I love myself. But if you don't love self, you ain't loving we or anything else. So you right about that. I think in life, if you don't love yourself, you're not loving no one else, and that's a good sentiment.
I agree, 100%.
Well, listen, thank you, caller, for calling. I appreciate you. That advice is great. You well taken. You have a great day.
Yes, sir. You do the same.
Good shit. Yeah. Caller was right on time. Caller was right on time. You know, and she was right. You know, you can't take care of yourself or your spouse or your children if you ain't loving yourself. And that's the key to certain things in life. We sort of forget. You know, we sort of forget what we have to do when we have to do it. You know, and you gotta do it. 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 You have to. You have to be able to do it. If you don't, you are no good, folks. You know, it's things in life, it becomes you. Not your car, not your job. It's I. If you don't love I, you can't love none of those things. You're infatuated with stuff, going out, going on trips, going on vacations. But you don't definitely love it if you don't love yourself. You want to do it. You want to marry he or she. Love you too, honey. I love you too. Somebody's viewing in and saying they love me. Love you too. Oh, that's my wife. Love you too. And hold up, we got another caller, folks. Another caller. Good afternoon, caller. Now, who is this?
Hey, good afternoon. This is your co-host, Kristen Bouchard.
Hey, Kristen. Oh, my God. Just a blessing. You always call on that moment when I get into that verbal of what's next, and you always seem to be that drop. Today, Kristen, we got a lot of callers. So are you calling chime in on something or on the subject? The subject in hand is, and when do you love yourself?
Okay.
And what times of these days do you love yourself? And why?
Well, for me, my self-love has been a journey. It started when I was a child, going through what I was going through. I had a lot of abandonment, with family and places I was put, and people that were supposed to be taking care of me. They did not love me, as a child. So as a child, it was like, okay, how can I make them love me? I like to call it a chameleon. I adapted to the situations. I adapted to people. I adapted to my surroundings in order to please and get that reward, as a child.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, it started young. Of course, going to school, you get picked on because you don't look like everybody else. Your clothes are old, or you're just not that kid. Name calling and things like that, and that plays a big part in low self-esteem growing up as a child.
So,
and if you don't have anyone to tell you that
right.
you're worthy of love and that you are loved and you are beautiful or handsome,
right?
The child doesn't know how to bring that out of them, so they're just going to go by what their surroundings say.
And let me stop you for a second. So, my thing is, and when do you start loving yourself? Because we only have a couple minutes, and I know we got callers calling in. When do you start loving yourself at those moments after knowing and hearing that and seeing it?
You start loving yourself when you've had enough of being a puppet. You
start
loving yourself when you've had enough of people using you. For me, I started loving myself when I realized I am my own person. I came in this world alone. I'm going to leave alone.
Wow.
I have to live my own path. I have to love myself. No one's going to love me the way I love me. God will. But, I have to be here for me emotionally, mentally, and physically. I have to be the one to bring myself out of that rut. Look at myself in the mirror and be able to say, you are awesome. You are loved. So
right.
I love myself to the fullest, and it's awesome. Self-love is everything. Self-love to me is a requirement in life. Because when you self-love yourself, you're a healthy person, and you'll be able to deal with other things. You're always going to put yourself first above, everything and everyone else, because you have to be safe for yourself.
Right.
Not fall for anything or everything, but fall for yourself,
Kristen, I love that. I appreciate we got another caller coming in. And can you just hold? Oh, the caller hung up. Actually, no, they called him back. Can you hold, please? Well, no, can you stay on hold or call back? We love your conversation. The caller's calling back.
I'll stay on hold.
Okay. Okay, they texting in and they're gonna call back. But yeah, that's great analysis. Some people we can't define what is love until something goes wrong for ourselves. Oh, they're gonna call her. I'm gonna continue just in a sec. Hey, how you doing, caller?
Hi,
What's your name?
Pamela.
Hey, Pamela. And what are you doing on
How
this?
are you?
What do you do? I'm great. I'm great. Thanks for asking. What are you doing on this lovely day?
Chopping up my yams for tomorrow.
Hey, that's what's up. God, that's God is good. So, Pamela,
Oh,
are you calling on the subject in hand?
yes, I am.
Well, that's great. That's great. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Can you hear me?
Oh, yes, I can definitely hear you loud and clear. So, Pam, um, the question we have today is, and when do you love yourself? What times do you love yourself in these type of in holiday season?
Um, when do I love myself? I love myself every day, but like around the holidays, it's more because I'm around family members and I don't know, I just feel more love for myself and them. But if that makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense. And when times when you don't feel like you love, do you still love yourself regardless if anyone is not loving you or showing it to you?
As I've grown older, I've came to that conclusion. Like, I have to love myself in order for others to love me. So yes, I do love myself, and I feel others love me because they really genuinely do see that I love myself and I appreciate the growth. And yeah, I definitely love myself, and I feel if you love yourself, then others will love and appreciate you.
That's true. That's true. That's true. Well, listen, thank you, Pam. That was a great sentiment. I hope you have a
I
blessed.
can't wait to call back. Yes, I love this. I love it. Keep
Thank,
going.
thank you. I appreciate. Hope you support the show. Please subscribe. Go on YouTube Live. Subscribe, share it. Like we on live now. You keep on watching the show and keep continuously charming in. You could charm in by text or just on conversation or on another call via video. We don't mind that. We love it, and it keeps supporting here on our sister network, which is Street Savvy, the podcast, and the new show, um, in the 1 minute with Jay Works. In the 1 minute with yours truly. So definitely tune in, please. We love the support. And thank you again, Pamela. Have a good Thanksgiving. We love you.
Thank you. You as well. Love you.
Yep. Yes, that was great. That was great conversation. That was something we need to have as a dialogue on our show. And this our questions alone, as far as a lot of the callers are saying, hey, you gotta love yourself first. You can't love your spouse, you can't love your children, you can't love people out your inner circle until you love yourself. We got back again on the call. Our co-host, Christian Bouchard, which is home preparing that great family Thanksgiving dinner for tomorrow. Christian, it's good to have you on again. The caller Pam was so delighted. She was cutting up her yams. And she gracious with her presence, her thoughts of loving herself and what times. And she said one quote that I like from her. She said, "Listen, I was at a deep place in my life, and no one didn't love me, and I had to learn to love myself, and I had to learn quick." And I was in this kind of similar what you were saying in your conversation before we was interrupted from a call, which you don't mind that because a call is a caller, and our show is grave on calls. But that's true, and it's all about you first. You cannot raise these kids. You cannot be around these men or women trying to love them and you don't love yourself. That's cheating people, you know. And well as we hear, we get cheated on situations like that. We don't want to cheat folks out, you know. And when you find out you love yourself, it's a real win. How do you feel about that? Like, do you feel like people always need to evaluate themselves on loving themselves and take care of themselves?
I agree. Self-evaluation.
Your volume is low. Your volume is low. We can't hear you. No, it's something. Can you call back so that way we can because maybe it's my end.
Okay.
Thank you. Yes, that's our co-host. She's gonna call back. We couldn't really hear, but she's gonna call back. So, folks, yeah, this is something that you have to endure early. Here she go, and we're gonna continue the conversation. Hi, Kristen. Sorry about that.
Oh, it's okay.
You were heard loud and clear right as you speak.
Yeah.
So, Chris, again, and just go ahead and reiterate what you were about to say. Sorry about that.
Oh, it's okay. In my opinion, self-evaluation is key because we meet so many people. We get into so many things in life. We could be taken away mentally from ourselves because we're so engrossed in the things that surround us, people, places, and things.
True.
I know for me, I'm actually in a self-evaluation right now. I do it 3 times a year. I do it in the fall, I do it in the spring, and I do it in the summer. I make a point of that, and I reflect on what my past months were like, who was in my life, how did they make me feel, how I feel about myself, more importantly. I have to make sure that I am there for me. I am completing my goals. I'm not on someone else's agenda because people have a tendency to pull you into their life and into their world. And when you look up, you're like, well, what about me? You know, you always have to pull back and say, what about me? How am I doing? How's my mental health? How's my emotional health? How's my spiritual health? Am I healthy? You know, am I doing the things that I set out to do? To me, all that is part of self-love, you know, and can't nobody take self-love away from you. You know, that's like the strongest bond you can have with yourself. Like, self-love is a beautiful thing. It's a gift to yourself. To love yourself, I think, is a true gift. You'll treat yourself the best. You'll eat the right things, and even if you don't eat the right things, you like what you like. But
True.
self-love is important, and if you don't have it, if you don't fully love yourself, you can't fully give yourself to your children or your spouse. You know, you can't fully give yourself to your job. It's like it becomes a drain. You know, then depression may kick in or anxiety may kick in.
Well,
You know, self-love is a hard thing. Sometimes you got to get rid of the things that you love the most.
you know what? And let me chime in on that. And I hear that. And sometimes you do. And I was saying that earlier. You can't love something more than you love yourself. Not your job, not your constituents, not going on that vacation every year to Jamaica. Those nice shoes, those Jordans. You know, you can't give up love for yourself because you need a necessity. That brand new car you want every 2 years that you work continuously for, that you feel like you deserve. But if you ain't loving and taking care of yourself, how can you drive that car? If you don't got the money, how you go buy that car? You don't got the money to make it go. How you spending $30,000 with zero in your account? It don't make sense to me. That means you're not loving the value of you because you worked hard, yeah, but you want to be able to see that work and enjoy that work because the love you have for yourself to get up every day and do it.
That's right.
But you can't love that work more than you love you. No, I don't think that's what my opinion and who am I. That's just my personal opinion. And you're right. Sometimes you got to take a step back. I feel that. I see that emotionally with a lot of folks I deal with on a daily basis. If you don't take that step back, loving you won't be important if you don't do that. Because we constantly say, I love you, I love you, I know I do. I tell people I love you, and I don't get it back. You know, and another thought with that is, it's like, why are you saying it to these people? Why are you saying it to these people? Why are you telling them you love them? I'm talking about children, loved one, someone on the side, or, you know, someone at work. You constantly enjoy daily because you're working with them. You grow a relationship. You grow a rapport. A business partner. If they don't give it back to you, they don't even respect you. But that's just who you are. Stop it. This is my opinion. Stop it. There's no way in hell you should be giving your time and your effort just for those words, those clearly words. Yo, I love you. You know what I mean? Don't hurt me. And you don't even got to say that. You telling them. And they ain't giving it back to you. I'm sorry. They are just not giving it back to you the way you want it. And that's something that we got to start realizing as people. Stop it. Love yourself first. Love yourself first. And then you could tell somebody, you can tell somebody you love them. Then you could tell them that. Because they ain't loving you. They ain't giving as much as back. And that's one of my weaknesses by fault in life. You know, I think I say that all the time. All the time. You know, tell the person I love them, show them, give them all of me. And they ain't giving none of them back. And they show it to you in ways you wouldn't imagine. Just by you asking about the littlest things. That becomes a pond. You become a pond in your situation with them. Do you agree with that sentiment or no?
I do. I've been there, done that, and moved away from it. You know, I've learned to not love. You can't love everybody. Sometimes you love the wrong people.
Wow.
I've done that, and I had to be like, wait a minute. You're not giving me what I'm giving you, and what I'm giving you is freely from my heart. So why do you choose not to return that favor? Therefore, I'm evaluating this situation, and I'm putting me first. It hurts because I truly do love you, but I have to go. I love me more than I love anything. I love my emotions more. I love my sanity more. I gotta go.
Well, that's deep. I like that. I think we all need to adapt some situations like that, Kristen.
Mm-hmm. Love is hard. Love is an emotion that comes so unexpectedly. It catches you by surprise many times as adults or what have you, teenage love, whatever. But it's one of those things, in my opinion, that it sneaks upon you. You know, when you're dealing with outsiders, you're gonna naturally love the children. Hopefully, you're gonna naturally love, your spouse. But before you meet that spouse, or boyfriend or girlfriend or best friend even, it sneaks up on you. And you have to. What I had to do was be very mindful because people said, "Oh, you wear your emotions on your sleeve." I'm a kind-hearted person, and I love people. I give people the benefit of the doubt. I'm always going to treat people how I treat myself, which is love,
Right.
respect, and what have you. But if I come across a person and they're choosing, love is a choice, just like hate is a choice. Every emotion is a choice. If I come across a person and you're choosing to treat me contrary, then, we have to make the tough decision. And by that time, sometimes it's too late because feelings are involved and that person showed you, oh, I'm this for 6 months and now I'm changing to who I really am. And then your feelings may be deep in it. And it's like, wow, now I got to make a hard choice. Do I stay because I love them or do I leave because I love me? And the mistake some people make is I'm staying to love them, and my love would change them. If that person loved you enough, that person would change for themselves to show you that they love you. We cannot, as human beings, change nobody but ourselves. We can't even change our children.
You know what? On that note,
I'm sorry, I went on.
thank you for calling and charming in, Kristen. What your co-host supposed to do was have you back. I appreciate you again. Would you like to end the show? This is the show that people want to hear from that one guy, which is Jay Works. In the 1 minute with Jay Works. Can you please close it up for us?
All right, folks. Remember to love yourself. Remember to put yourself first. And self-love is everything. Self-love is everything. So with that being said, like, subscribe, and share to the J-Works 1 Minute with J-Works. Anything, host?
You know what? You have said it to the most. Thank you
All right.
again, Christian. And folks, remember, like, subscribe, and share. Like the young lady just said. God bless you, America, and make sure you stay tuned to the primetime show tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, we don't have a time right now, but we will be in a slot. So just look and seek, and please search for us. Thank you, America, and good night. Have a good day. Excuse me, have a good day.
Good day.